crank in the middle. We're on dead slow. Dead slow ahead. That big round disc is the reversing lever next to that crank. And you can see how the pantographs are set up. There's one right there, right in front of Ken. And you can see how they extend as they go top and bottom of this center. And then the top of the cylinders are above that floor plate there. So we're going to go up and look at the indicators now and set those up. We have to blow the valves out, clean the crud out of the valves before we set the indicators. This is Ken McCary, and we're going to talk about indicating the engine on the Jeramiah O'Brien. And in order to do that, you have to set up what's called a pantograph. So Ken, go ahead and explain what this is to us.
Okay, so what we're doing, the two pieces of the indicator, we've got to, we'll show the indicator in a minute. So it's got a drum on it, and it also takes pressure. So it's showing you the pressure at different parts of the stroke. So we have, on this engine, you have the 48-inch stroke, and we have to reduce it to about 4 inches for the indicator. So we have what we call a reducing motion, and about the only thing that would work here is this pantograph for the reducing motion. So with the magnet on the crank pin, sorry, not the wrist pin, not the crank pin, the wrist pin, and that takes your 48-inch stroke. Then it comes to this pin here has about a 4-inch stroke. It reduces to about 4 inches. We have this string, and it's a non-stretch string, hopefully. And it goes through a set of pulleys to the other side of the engine and up by the cylinder heads where the indicator is. Right here.
The continuation of the string is a little magnetic mounted shiv wheel going every which way here. Got to go behind all the moving parts in order to find your way up to the indicator. There's the string going up to the indicator through a hole in the floor plate. And I'm going to take this off my hand so it's going to shake a little bit. There's the indicator up there. We'll get a better shot of it in a minute. This is the high pressure cylinder here. There's valve. Whoops. Get out of your way here.
Let's take a picture of the
pantograph down through the engine.
The other two cylinders too.
Oh, okay. So this is a setup on a high pressure. We're going to go do the intermediate and the low pressure now. So I'll go ahead and let Ken go in front of me. So this is the intermediate setup. You can see how the pantograph has been extended from the wrist pin all the way down to the reducing point. So we just bolted it on 2x4s to the rail there.
Access the video that I did on the Facebook page where I'm explaining how to read all that stuff.
Here we go up to the pulleys again. Now we're what you're doing. Here we'll see it extend here in a second. So they just turn the engine over and we'll see how that works. And it extends as it goes. So we've got a 4-foot stroke on the engine. See the wrist pin going up and down. Now when we come to the
my hand here.
reducing point,
Here's how far the string's going.
that's how far that's going up and down. You see Ken's hand, he's got a string pin. So it's only going up and down about 4 inches. That way it doesn't miss the pantograph spot. You don't need an 8-foot long pantograph.
Perfect.
So there's Devin slinging oil promiscuously. Just a little low pressure. Again, you can see how the pantograph extends itself. Steam lines from the two boilers. One of the indicators. And a little pencil moves up and down.
It'll be fine.
As this cylinder turns, the string is pulled by the motion, by the pantograph that we just saw, and rotates this barrel. As it rotates the barrel, there's a spring inside of this barrel here. Now Ken is blowing the valve to make sure that there's no rust and stuff inside of it. So he's cleaning out the valve. That's the top and bottom of the cylinder. Okay, let's go back to the pantograph again. Okay, so the string, as the pantograph pulls that around, the steam pressure in here pushes the string up, or the little piston up. And it pushes this mechanism up. There's a little pencil lead on the end of this right here. So it draws a graph of the pressure inside the piston, the big piston, that's what's in here. So as that spring pushes this up, that pencil goes up, rather like a recording barograph. So as this turns with each revolution, that pencil draws a graph on that piece of paper. And that way you're able to see the timing of it and horsepower, calculate the horsepower of each cylinder on the engine to make sure everything is balanced well. And that's the engine causing that little drum to rotate. Now the pencil on the inside, you can't see it here.
Yeah,
it should be drawing a graph.
Let's let it retrace the line.
I can't see it.
I can see it. We're just gonna let it. Yeah, just let it keep scribing that line. Let's not touch it. It's making enough. It's doing enough. So just let it keep scribing.
Yeah. Leave it alone. So let the piston move up and down inside there, moving the pencil up and down.
Should be popping up like that. Well, yeah, I guess it would.
It would, because you're seeing the spike in pressure.
That's where it's mounted.
And then
to the engine.
And it tapers off as you get to exhaust.
Let's do the other. We'll do the other
This is
side.
the diagram we got off the high pressure cylinder. Go ahead and explain that.
So you can see where the graphs cross here. They should be both constant and come down. So what we're seeing right now is
exhaust event right there.
there's an exhaust event, and there's an exhaust event.
Okay.
Right. So here's where.
Sorry, at the bottom, rather.
This is the top is when the piston is going down. Right. Okay. So you see the valve opening and leaving the valve open and leaving it open.
That's okay.
And then cutting it off, and it drops off to nothing.
Okay.
You see on the bottom side where it comes right down as it should, and then tapers off when the valve shuts for the lap and lead.
Okay,
so
ideally,
all we're going to have to do is adjust the link flux.
So a perfect adjustment would show.
A perfect adjustment would show the same power curve on both sides, instead of the valve staying open longer on the downstroke than on the upstroke.
So ideally, those lines would cross directly in the middle of that bottom.
Right.
Okay.
So all that tells us is that it's not a quartering issue. It's a link block issue. So the valve is just too far set advanced on the link block.
Oh, okay. So that I didn't video that, but we will. But the little link block on the tumbler arm, then.
Right. That's all we're going to have to do. It's just turn the screw a couple of turns.
Great. Okay. Great. Okay, so we saw the diagram, and he talked about the link block adjustment. So we got the valve, simple valve adjustment. So we're walking through the intermediate and the low pressure cylinders here. This block, this link block here, at the top of the condenser you're looking at right there. This link block here. This is a tumbler shaft here. My hand, that's a tumbler shaft going on there. Tumbler arms down to this link block. This, typically you see these on triple expansion engines, rarely on compounds. So in order to change your valve event, you see this, the head of this screw here, bolt. Well, that's actually a big screw. You can get a picture of it in there with a light to that screw. That pushes this block back and forth. These links here are connected to the Stevenson link. And they, in turn, change the timing of the valve. The cutoff of the valve shortens or lengthens it. So it sits there a little bit longer or a little bit shorter in position, and less more steam or less steam in the top or the bottom of the cylinder. So this is the big link here, the Stevenson link, which is one of the double bore links here for the Stevenson link. You notice it's going up and down real slow. There's the valve there, the valve thing. Okay, so as they change the timing, this die block, the links slide in the die block, which is right here. This is one of the die blocks, top and bottom link on that. So this whole thing, as they move it, these links will pull this whole thing back. And that changes the valve timing. So we've got to kind of get away from it. We're awful close. You can't really get a feel for it right here. It's too close. But you notice that as it goes up and down, the engine, of course, is going up and down too. There's eccentric down here in the bottom, the crankshaft, dictate the movement of the valve. There's the two eccentrics down there in the crankshaft. So you notice how the valve is going up, the crankshaft is going down. Let me see if I can get a better view of that. There's the pantograph again. There's the IP valve linkage. IP being intermediate pressure. I've just watched that a little bit. You notice that this is the intermediate piston and valve linkage. Watch it a little bit. You notice the piston going up and the valve going down. Piston going down, valve going up. That link, that double bar link you see back there, that's the one that's being pushed back and forth for the shift direction because the engine turns either a forward or ahead or a turn. And you can see the pantographs how they working in conjunction. Of course, these aren't on the engine all the time. Those are only for the purpose of indicating and having the engine. And again, you got to do most of that drill with the pantograph top and bottom of each cylinder. Here's a little trick to put a paper on the indicator. Grab it by the ears, flip it down inside the pin, both sides simultaneously, and voila. And then you put the punch on.
Hey, Ted, look at the gun. You get the rest of the reading, order the reading, and then the level back to the Jōki-sen.
Okay. Where do you guys do it?
We have a... I want to...
If I can get that pencil along the line there.
That's probably the best thing I've ever made on a plane.
There's making a diagram. Beautiful. Now we have to switch the other side of the cylinder.
Okay, so now you see the D valve on this piston is set pretty much the same way on this intermediate. So you see the valve vent open and then very gradual and the valve vent closes. So this is actually closer to where it should be than the high pressure piston, but you can still see how they don't meet in the middle, and now you're getting a reduction in steam on the downstroke. The same thing that we're getting on the IP, or excuse me, on the HP, right? So you see a direct correlation because you get more pressure on the downstroke of the HP, so you're getting more pressure on the upstroke of the intermediate. So if this theory is correct, when we indicate the low pressure, you should see the same power curve, but in reverse.
Very good. Okay, great. Well, this is the intermediate piston.
This is the intermediate piston. IP at slow ahead.
Okay.
Okay, we're on the low pressure cylinder. Low pressure cylinder exhausts into the condenser, which is a vacuum. So what we're seeing, actually inside the cylinder, we've got a vacuum. The indicator should be able to show a little bit of the vacuum.
Okay.
Not live, but
Is it going to be, should be reversed of what the others would be then?
Right. Yeah. Let me see that piece of paper. I can illustrate. You can see it pull that See, it tries to pull the paper in.
Aha.
Oh, you can hear it there too. Let me switch valves. Watch out in case there's steam. Okay, same thing.
Oh yeah, very good.
Now when we're underway, we will have some pressure and some vacuum here.
Okay. What a dramatic display of vacuum there.
That was the bottom, now we got the top.
Now we got the top, okay.
Let me get a real good shot of that indicator.
Holy crap.
Why you say that?
You'll see this in a second. We're doing figure eights as the vacuum spikes.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, cool.
All right, so let's take it off and look at it.
Clean it out and then take an atmospheric line.
Just for reference.
Well, you measure off of that and see what your actual power is. I'm gonna disconnect it again.
Okay, we did the test indication, and now we're serious. We got 3 guys at each station. Taking the diagram simultaneously.
Top, bottom, and atmospheric. So you got to find out, because this is a vacuum. This is actually exhausting into a vacuum.
Right.
But I don't know where the vacuum is and where's zero.
Okay.
You're in negative territory there.
Gotcha, okay.
Why don't we do it?
We'll do the LP again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. What do you think?
It's a little off. It should cross in the center. And
Be a little more
see how
square,
this
the
curves?
ignition.
Yeah, see this is pretty square and drops off steadily. This is very weird.
It should be a little more square than this. This has good compression here.
Yeah, but look at this. This
Yeah,
is really
that's
weird.
got too much.
And that's I bet what that smacking is we hear. Remember all the noise we hear in this one?
Yeah.
That's I bet what that is.
Did you get both?
Brett's the guy. Huh?
Did you get both upper and lower?
Yeah.
So what are you doing now there, Devin?
I gotta get a zero reader.
You're going to get an atmospheric now?
Yeah, I gotta get the atmospheric. I forgot to do that one.
So the atmospheric is to hook the engine up and you don't turn the valve on, correct?
Yep. Okay, so this is the atmospheric.
Right, you got to hook your
I guess you can just draw a line across, right?
Well, no, hook your thingy up first.
It'll be a different pressure though.
Shouldn't be any pressure at all on it. Just give you a line. That'll give you your baseline. It's just be a line back and forth. Yeah, there you go. Don't push it too hard. The pencil lead is really delicate. Okay, so that'll give you your baseline. So that'll give you top and bottom. Leave that paper on it when you take your when you go to the head position.
Yeah.
It's still going in reverse. Pull ahead. We got some better stock here. So we've got the IP and the LP full ahead then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can put the pantograph on it and see how many horsepower we're getting out of it. Or not the pantograph, but the...
Right.
Yeah,
The indicator.
yeah. Okay.
We're on the turn now.
Turn again.